Hey Super Crew, this is DC Sun coming back to you. Wanted to let you know I have just finished Volume 2 of Rwby Volume 2 of Rwby, and I love it. So many questions, so many wow moments, so on and so forth. It was amazing. Wow, okay, so where to begin? Wow. I loved it. The action obviously was intense, was on point. I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the character building of every character. Actually, this particular volume was a bit more in depth and emotional compared to the previous one, and I really liked the first one as well. Seeing some of the characters come across a villain that they had difficulty with for whatever reason, I thought was interesting because it's showing that they're not quite at the top of their game yet. There's room to grow, but they're still badasses. For example, Yang. Oh, dear Yang. Watching Yang fight Neo was a really interesting fight. It frustrated me at points. It was like, come on, Yang, you can do it. Come on. I wanted to see Yang get the upper hand at least once in the fight, and it was either more of a draw or she just couldn't do it. Now, there are a couple things that I saw during that fight, and it's like, okay, and I haven't quite got a hold on Neo's powers yet. You know, watching her eyes switch colors back and forth, and it's like, what is it? You know, positive and negative, or like what? And I'm trying not to read into it too much, and I'm purposely avoiding blogs and things like that because I want to stay away from all spoilers. Watching them work together has always been fun, but this time also seeing some of the other teams and some of the other characters in those teams, oh my goodness, amazing. There's one character whose name I don't know yet. I will be searching. She's on one of the reserve teams that was dropped in once the Grimm reached the city in the last episode. And sorry, I'm like, because I'm still in shock. And one of the, that down can start pointing. The character she has on aviators, dark aviators, similar to Yang, and she's got like this ammo case, and she basically punks one of the Grimm. It's just like, what? Why? Because he destroyed her favorite clothing store, and then she pulls out a Gatling gun and just goes to town. I was like, oh my goodness, this team is awesome. Even outside of her and that awesome weaponry she had, dude, the professor and his thermos ended up being like this giant torch and flamethrowers. Like, what? Crazy. Oh my goodness, what are they going to think of next? Looking at some of the characters, I'm really enjoying this series. Oh man, you guys should have told me about this so like long ago. I'm so mad at Akasan for not telling me before. I'm just joking. Kind of happy he didn't, and at the same time, like, ugh, I wish I could have been on there, because I've seen so many people cosplaying these characters, or like pamphlets and brochures about some of the characters that are in this series, and had no clue what it was. And only for the simple fact of me being here in Japan, I see a lot of different forms of anime all the time, so I kind of brushed it off. It's like, oh, I'll get to it later. Boy, was I wrong. Oh my goodness. Team Rwby all the way. So, yeah, seeing Weiss showing her softer side and being more open to learning about her team and about herself, I thought was really cool. She definitely has some awesome moves. I see why some people are like, oh, she's my favorite character when it comes to fighting. She's really got some skills. I was shocked when they're fighting the Grimm during the Breach episodes, and yeah, she's basically like, yep, we got it, and she just takes him out. It's just amazing. But that's not to overshadow or downplay any other character that's there, Team Ruby or otherwise, because they're all awesome. Every time I see Pyrrha and Nora, I almost immediately cheers like, yeah. For example, before I forget, oh my goodness, episode 5, or excuse me, chapter 5. I need to stop saying episodes. Don't want to make anyone angry, but chapter 5, when they're introducing Pyrrha during her practice for the tournament, getting ready, and watching her manhandle the entire team card, I was like, yes, because outside of her being, you know, the closest thing we'll get to like a Wonder Woman-ish style character on Rwby, which is fine, has nothing to do with DC Marvel. But looking at how she fights, it's amazing. Watching her fight them, watching her fight in general, it's beautiful. I got chills watching Yang fight during the Yellow trailer. And then watching her manhandle other people has always been cool. But I got the same chills watching Pyrrha fight. It's like, oh my goodness, this girl is awesome. Taking the spear and spinning it around her neck and then still jabbing at people among everything else she does was some of the best choreography I've seen on there, hands down. It was beautiful because it was short, precise, to the point, just like her character, but it was just amazing. Yang, I love her fighting style because outside of her having, you know, the gauntlets, she's like this badass kung fu martial arts, which is just, oh man, I love this series. Minasan, hontoni arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you so much, everybody, because I'm really enjoying this. So anyways, let me try and calm down. Still got to rush in because I'm about to go through Volume 3 because Volume 4 is coming out in a few hours, so I kind of want to catch up. So, all that said and done, get to see where, I'll just call them Team Cinder, is starting to kind of go with their plan, even though their plan kind of was a bit ahead of schedule, if I understood correctly. Watching Emeril fight, okay, I'm all for the good guys and all, but Emeril, she's sweet. She's sweet. I love how they made her character look, and her fighting style was pretty cool. Now, Mercury, he kind of seems like the polar opposite of Yang in a way, where it's like he has almost the same type of gauntlets, but they're on his feet. If I'm not getting that correctly, please let me know because I'd love to understand. He seems like the type of person that's studying his enemies to find their weakness and then exploit it. That's fine. But Yang should not get beat by him, period. Shouldn't happen because she needs a whooping. Anyways, or Pyrrha. I'm okay with either one. Now, Jean. Thank you for you guys telling me that Jean will get better as this series goes on because you were so true. He's very funny. He how can I put him? He's like a mix of a little bit of Shinji, a little bit of Luke Skywalker, with I don't know, like a little bit of Boy Scout or something. He's just like he's a bit naive and a little, you know, wet behind the ears, but he's very, very pure and open-hearted, and it's nice to have that kind of character as long as they're not too whiny. That's one thing I want to make sure to stay away from. But seeing him stand up for his team, seeing him actually, you know, show that he is he's willing to put himself out there for other people was nice, instead of him running away and, you know, trying to escape his role as the leader. I thought that was cool that he did not do that. Him dressing up in a dress and dancing was jarring because it's like everybody in line with him that's dancing, everybody's doing the dance perfectly fine, including him. But for some reason, the detail in his arms just looked really weird to me. It's like, it's kind of creepy. It's like, is he... I don't know, he looked almost like a skeleton, but it was kind of funny at the same time. So I understand. It was interesting. Them doing, you know, their line dance and things is sweet. The food fight, amazing episode. chapter. I don't know. It's just this has been a very very good and enjoyable series from start to finish. You know, I don't have any complaints per se other than volume 2 being 12 episodes. Ke cosa fai? Nande? Why only 12? Where are the other 4? The first volume is 16 and this is only 12. I'm teasing, but I'm not, because when it ended, I'm like, what? That's it? That's it? So I'm about to start volume 3. I will see you guys soon. Apologies for it being late. I had a problem with streaming last time, and it dealt with where I'm at and connections and a whole bunch of other stuff. But I'll be starting a You Now earlier next week, and I'll let you guys know when I go on, and then we'll try doing something from there. Until then, much love. Keep it super crew. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, please leave your comments down at the bottom. Anything I should look forward to, let me know without spoilers, please. And I'm going to get into volume 3 and post that ASAP. Keep it super.